Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We just watched our video of our terrible, terrible Love Hotel experience with whatever was going on with the body in the bed and the knocking at the door. We finally sat back, though, after being mesmerized by the video. I had known what was going to happen, but this was still hard. To be honest, I was lucky that the phone was dropped and a lot of it wasn't clearly recorded. I didn't feel as much of an urge to vomit as I'd expected, but I was still sweating from a nasty, unpleasant feeling. I gulped down the last bit of liquid in my cup.
Onoe, 大丈夫か?
I asked Erica. And then?
ねえ、タク、最後のとこ、何か変なの映ってなかった?
I mean, things went to red, right? But is there going to be a couple of frames where something happened that showed how things went red? Huh?
何?
Weird. The whole thing was weird. Not a second of it was normal.
部屋の奥に進んでからさ。
Sarika moved the mouse to jump backwards in the video. I couldn't tell whether she was tough, or simply dense, or maybe just felt like it was nothing but a video, but she advanced through the shocking scenes with no hesitation.
ほら、ここ、これこれ、窓の外。
Really? Outside the window? At least at a glance, I don't notice anything. I could see the wall of the Love Hotel across the street from the open window. Fair enough, I guess. There was something there.
なんだ? これ.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at. The glowy diamond above her hair there? Like a light?
虫かな?
こんなでかい虫がいたら、クルスが建物ごと爆破しに来るぞ。
Yeah, right. She hated bugs.
じゃあ、いたずら書き?
Why was her first answer a bug and her second answer the sensible one?
いや、ちょっと待って。なんかどっかで。
I switched from my player software to my editing software and then blew up that part of the screen. Damn it. I could make it out, but it was so far away that it was blurry. The resolution was too low.
ほら、虫じゃん。羽広げてる。
違うって。やっぱりなんかどっかで見た気が。
I mean, I can't really make anything out, but is this going to be that sumo wrestler sticker that's just spreading through town? What? I turned around to the loud noise. Jeez, what? Guy who comes in here, presumably knowing us, and is clearly drunk. Gen, are you the guy? There was a drunk man with a bottle of booze in his hand. Give me a break. Of course no one was waiting.
もっと静かに入ってきてよ。
ゲンさん、この前はありがとね。
この前？
ラブホテルの事件のこと教えてくれたじゃん。
おお、そうだったか？ああ、どうでもいい。事件か、よかったな。タクは新聞記者になりたいんだからな。
I didn't, really. Every day I supposedly wanted to be a different thing. Last time it was a movie director.
ようはただいま帰ったぞ。なあ、タク、よく聞け。世が世であるために、今日はこんなものを手に入れてきた。ん？どこだ?
So that I may remain me, he started patting down the pockets of his very old coat. This annoying old man was Gen. He was the elder ruler of this park and the CEO of a company with a 3 billion yen a year salary and the best friend of my father, Jiro. At least according to him. My dad's name wasn't even Jiro. He was related to a clan of foreign nobles, and so if he ever needed to, he could summon a foreign special forces team to do his bidding. Except last week his bed had been taken over by a stray dog and he'd come to stay with me.
世の一番大事なものもねえじゃねえか。やべえぞ、正面できねえ。
Oh no. You know what I've been noticing, by the way? It did the same thing for K on the broadcast. K-san, Gen-san. Like, I get that they're honorifics, but wouldn't you think there'd be a hyphen instead of Gensen? You know, it's Gen-san.
ちょっとゲンさん、ズボン脱がないでよ。
Oh no. Gen was always loud when he got drunk, and when he got really drunk, he was louder. Today, he wasn't very drunk. I had no idea what he was like when he was sober. I'd never seen it happen, or heard of it happening. Sometimes, or often, actually, at least once a week, he would come by my room drunk, talk for a while, then leave to search the park for more alcohol.
あったぞ、ジョーちゃん。あった。ほれ、見ろ。
見ない、絶対見ない。
He was obnoxious as hell, to put it mildly, but I couldn't chase him away. Actually, I couldn't complain about him much at all. When I had left the dorm half a year ago, I'd ended up in the bottom half of Miyashita Park. Since the upper half kept the rain off, the bottom half was one of the most popular spots. A lot of the reason I was able to get this spot and even this motorhome was because of Gen.
最低、最低。
When I lived, alright, when I lived in the dorm, I'd done some cooking for the homeless in Miyashita Park as part of our volunteer activities. Gen had remembered that. A nobleman does not forget his debts, was all he said. And then somehow I'd been given this place. Huh. He was also the one who taught me how to get by in this place.
そうだ、タク、これ見ろ。変わんねえか。
Gen took something out of his pocket. Oh no, if it's gonna be the next one of those cool cat issues, it's gonna be awkward. Yeah, in the bag. I ripped a copy of my favorite magazine out of his hands. I quickly glanced over to Sarika.
大嫌い。ゲンさん、大嫌い。
She was mumbling that over and over to herself. I thought she liked them. Good, she didn't see it. I breathed a sigh of relief and hid it someplace nearby.
いくら
Gen raised a single finger. This was one rule, for example. It was the first thing I learned in the park. The homeless would never, ever ask you for money. It was the one thing they could never say. Money was either found lying on the ground or earned by working or selling things. It wasn't something other people gave you. I took out a 100 yen coin from my wallet and gave it to him. Gen grabbed it and put it in his pocket like he didn't really care.
おお、最近よく見んな、それ。
He's seen it a lot. Maybe it is the sumo thing. He was looking at the PC monitor as he spoke. For a moment, I didn't know what he meant.
Huh?
My eyes met Sarika's for just a moment. The monitor was still displaying that blurry, blown-up image. He saw it a lot?
ちょっとゲンさん。
これ、知ってるの？
野球してえな。
He was in his own little world. What was this guy's problem? I got closer to him.
ゲンさん、これ見たことあるの？
ああ、なもんお前、どこにでもあんだろうよ、これ。例えば駅前の。駅前って誰だ？
は？駅前って、駅前なんでしょ？渋谷の駅前の。
だからほれつうかタク、おめえ前に見せてくれたやつにも映ってんだろ。
Oof, what was the last thing we showed him? Huh?
俺、何年前だったか、おめえがカラオケに張り込んでなんかを初めて抑えたとかっつってよ。
Oh, evidence from a previous crime scene. That was last weekend, actually. When I'd been uploading the photos of the crime scene I'd taken from the karaoke box, Gen had come by and seen them. This was it.
タク、ここ？
It was an image of the karaoke box I'd hidden in to take pictures of the crime scene. It was on the 5th floor. I could see the same mark. I switched from the player software to the editor software just like before and magnified that part of the image. Yeah, that's a sticker way up there. And then I realized what it was. That's right. I had seen this thing before. And just like Yen said, it was something you could find all over Shibuya. Something that had been there for a long time. Yeah.
歴史シールド
It's creepy though, because it looks like it's two faces. Interesting that Gen noticed that just off the cuff. As I saw the club room for the first time in 3 days, I was stunned.
いや、努力はしたんだよ。
I've been waiting all morning to tell Ito the big discovery I made yesterday. I stayed up almost all night finding all the information I could on it, and then forced myself to wait until school ended to tell him. I figured that just sending pictures to his phone or trying to explain it in words would just confuse him. I wanted to stand in front of the board in the club room, with all the information we learned so far pinned up on it, and use the club time to really work through it. But there was nothing there. What? There was nothing there at all? There was nothing there, I could only think of one person who would do that. Kursu?
昨日の帰り際な。危なすぎるから絶対にダメだって言って。
Rats. Was it because of what happened in the Love Hotel? In as angry a voice as I could muster, I said,
どうして止めてくれなかったんだよ。
だから努力はしたんだよ。黙りなさいって言われて黙ったけど。
She told me to shut up, and I did. Well,
そこをなんとかしてさ。
無理言うなよ。お前ならなんとかできたのか？
無理言うなよ。
Ito shrugged as if to say, see? Just imagining it scared me a little. Doing something about Kurosu was absolutely impossible. No one in Hekiho was capable of such a thing. I pointed to the PC on the desk.
データは？
ハードディスクごと叩き壊されなかっただけ運が良かったんじゃないか？
I'm thinking of that really old Simpsons episode releases. I think it was Diorama Project gets totally destroyed and blown out the window. How is it? The important thing is that we survived. So the data was gone too. Actually, the data were gone. Nobody talks like that, though. Ito was probably joking, but if Kurosu thought she needed to do it, she would've.
小野江、さっきから何プリントアウトして。
はい、これ。
Sariko dropped a stack of papers on the desk. I looked down and saw that it was images and articles about the case. It was the ones that were uploaded to the newspaper club server. I suppose they were the ones.
どうしたんだこれ。
状況たるもの、データのバックアップは常に取れってタクいつも言ってるじゃん。というか、タクだって取ってるでしょ？
Touche? Well, yes, but... Sarika flipped through the papers.
ポケコンからだとなぜか画質が少し落ちるんだよね。サーバーにもう一回上げ直して。
ちょっと待った。
Sarika went to stretch a cable from her Pokecom to the PC, but I quickly stopped her.
画質これでいいの？
そうじゃなくて、いや画質はこれでいいんだけど、サーバーに上げるのはちょっと待ってくれ。
I glanced at Ito as I spoke. The newspaper club server could be accessed from any PC in the school as long as you knew the password. Yeah. Kurosu was spending her time at the student council getting ready for the culture festival, but there was a chance she might look at the server for some reason. Ito nodded in agreement, a serious look on his face.
二人とものんちゃんのことを怖がりすぎだよ。のんちゃん優しいよ。ねえ、はなちゃん。
Perfect.
ほらね。
See what? Was Kazuki agreeing? She was pounding down on the keyboard and mouse really hard.
そりゃ尾上や和樹は副部長に可愛がられてるけどさ。
渋谷のクレープ屋台一緒にコンプリートしたんだよ。のんちゃん甘いものに詳しいんだ。
Sarika puffed out her chest, very proud of this information. I didn't care in the slightest.
それにどっちみちのんちゃんにはバレると思うよ。
Yeah, I mean, eventually, how could she not, right? That was probably true, yeah. If we kept following the case as part of our work with the newspaper club, Kurusu was smart enough to catch on.
大丈夫だよ。話せば分かってくれるよ。
Not when we show her that video. I simulated a variety of situations in my mind. Oh no. Time to get stupid. Kurusu loved sweets. This is how we're opening? Positive. This was something that Sarika had said and that I had known about too. So would buying her something she liked from a famous sweet shop be enough to win her over? Would bribery work on someone as prim and proper as the student council president? It was worth a try. Oh, I can't wait to see, like, oh, my favorite sweet. You could do anything you want with this investigation. Here it comes! Unless we could win her over, we weren't going to be able to continue with the case.
よし、これから賄賂を買いに行こう。尾上、クルスが好きなスイーツ店の上位3つを教えてくれ。
買いに行くなら私も行きたい。
She was clearly intending to buy something for herself. Well, that was fine. It was time for the mission to begin.
というわけで、これ、クルスにプレゼント。
And he's saying it like it's like a romantic thing. Here you go. This is a present for you, Kurusu. I knew that Kurusu was staying late after school to get ready for the festival. I handed her the present I just bought. Sarika had told me about a pancake place near Shibuya Station. It was a popular store where there was always a line of girls outside. I heard it was one of the few places where you could get pancakes for takeout, so I quickly chose it. Standing in line with the girls for an hour was almost torture, but I somehow managed to do it.
これってエッグスンサンクスのパンケーキ？
Eggs and thanks? Is that a reference to something? I can't tell what that is.
そうだけど。
Again, his delivery is so different in this situation. That's right.
あそこいつも並んでいるからなかなか手に入らないのに。
Why does this sound so familiar? Oh, because I think I did something like this in Judgment. I had to get this difficult to access sweet shop to bribe my coworker with. Her eyes were shining like a little girl's. It wasn't an expression I was used to seeing from her.
私にくれるの？本当に？
いつも迷惑かけてるし。
This delivery is hysterical.
タクルがこういうプレゼントをくれるなんて珍しいね。
Which is precisely why she should be suspicious, but it's a fantasy.
ありがとう。すごく嬉しい。
After seeing how happy she was, I couldn't tell her that I was trying to bribe her. Well, I mean, I didn't think you were ever going to tell her that, because then she would know that you're trying to bribe her.
あれおかしいな。
え、なんで？
Why was she crying?
ごめんね。こんな幸せあるんだなって思って。
Because I got her some pancakes. I know it's a line, but damn.
変だよね。こんなことで泣いちゃうなんて。でも本当に嬉しかったの。ありがとうね、タクル。よかったら半分こしない？いいでしょ？
I was satisfied with the result of my simulation. This might work.
よし、わかった。
いいのか？
Ito must have been really surprised by my answer because he badly overreacted.
お前はそんなに勇敢なやつだったか？
やるときはやるんだよ。ただ、サーバーに上げるのは待ってくれ。慎重を期したい。
オッケー。
それから、
とりあえず今はボードに情報を貼り付けるけれど、まとめ終わったら一旦剥がそう。ことは簡単じゃないんだ。
オッケー。
Thank you.
それから事件のことに関してはとりあえずクルスに秘密にしよう。それでほとぼりが冷めるまで様子を見つつ、クルスが甘いものでも食べて機嫌がいい時に切り出すんだ。
Third time's a charm?
オッケー。
Perfect.
じゃねえだろ。ただのヘタレじゃねえか。
Wow. Also, this is an amazing out of context screen cap. What?
ヘタレじゃない。もっとも成功率の高い方法を弾き出したらこうなるんだ。それをヘタレと呼ぶのはヘタレの定義として。
The definition.
はいはい、わかったわかった。ほら、尾上。地図貼るからそっち持て。
オッケー。
Wow, fourth time's a charm. Ito and Serica took out the big map we used for the board.
説得を考えたらこれが一番確実なんだ。
He didn't get it at all. There was no way I could persuade Kurisu if I tried to go after her head on.
というか、宮代、マジな話だけどさ。
He had a very serious tone in his voice as he hung up the top of the map. Huh? I've been serious the whole time.
その、
Except for my stupid fantasy.
大丈夫なのか、事件を追って。
だからいずれ説得する。
ヘタレじゃないぞ。慎重なんだぞ。
じゃなくて、お前、よっぽどのもん見たんだろ。その、ラブホテルで。
Serica froze midway through the process of taping down the bottom of the map. So that was it? I hadn't told Ito anything about the Love Hotel. I hadn't told him about what I'd seen or experienced there. I tried my best to give him a cheerful smile.
大丈夫だよ。問題ない。こんな大きなネタほっとけないだろ。
Ito didn't answer. He stared at me as if trying to figure me out. And then he relaxed and laughed a little.
まあ、電話の時点でそうじゃないかとは思ってたけどな。
He was probably talking about the call I'd made yesterday. After I made my discovery, I'd called Ito and asked him to find all the information he could about the Love Hotel case. It had already been 3 days since it had happened. I hadn't been really following it at all, so I'd asked Ito to put together what he could find.
はい、いいよ。
Serica finished pinning the map to the board. Okay, let's get started. It was a brand new map of Shibuya. We'd had to put it up from scratch again, but now that I looked at it, maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. I'd made a huge discovery which could impact the whole case. It was a good idea to start over from the beginning.
まず6年前の事件と日付の関連性があるという前提で進めよう。つまり今まで起きた3つの事件を一連のこととして考える。目的や犯人がいるとしたらその正体はともかくとしてな。
ああ、3つ続いた以上はそうだろう。そうじゃなかったらまたその時考えればいい。
よし、場所から行くか。1件目の事件、通称こっちみんなは人難で起こったから。で、その遺体の画像が。
Oh, I'm actually choosing. Okay, well that's clearly don't look at me. You can see the guy at the laptop.
で、その概要が。ちなみに同じ日付の6年前の事件は集団ダイブだから。
The group dive. My god, that's grisly.
で、その概要が。 1軒目はこんなもんだな。じゃあ2軒目に行こう。通称音漏れ炭は深センで起こったから。で、その遺体の画像が。
The leaky noise we saw a bunch of times.
で、その概要が。ちなみに同じ日付の6年前の事件は妊娠男だから。
The pregnant man. You could kind of tell.
で、その概要が。よし、じゃあ最後にラブホの事件だ。場所は道玄坂のラブホ街だから。で、概要だけど。
I looked at Ito and I could see he was nervous. He was worried, but at the same time a little excited.
どうした？大丈夫か？
いや、そうだな。まずは伊藤がまとめてきたのを見せてくれるか？世間ではどういう認識になっているのかを知りたい。発表されていた名前は見たけど。
わかった。ちょっと待ってな。
Ito got out his own Pokecom and started to fiddle with it. He linked to the printer over the network and printed out his files. Wait.
やっぱサーバーには上げないんじゃんか。
当たり前だ。殴られるのは嫌だ。
だから怖がりすぎだってば。
I skimmed the printout that Ito made for me. After all the cases we'd researched together, he knew how to summarize information into a single page like a pro. Ito read from his own printout.
名前が発表されたのは昨日の夜だ。死んだのは柿田博則22歳。渋谷在住で更新でアルバイトしていたらしい。
更新？
なんで知らないんだ？景気のいいベンチャー企業だよ。
They had been making a lot of money lately off of the Shibuya reconstruction. We covered this in tips, but if you didn't read the tip, then here you go now.
渋谷ニュースの情報通り、20代の男性だ。
さすが。そこはチェックしてるか。
That was about the only thing I could do, Ito said as he nodded.
つーか、20代って言及したのは事件のあった日のネトラジ放送だぞ。まだその段階ではどの媒体も男性の変死体が発見されたとしか発表してなかったのに。
Oh, that's creepy.
ったく、どうやって調べてるんだか。
I couldn't agree more. How did Kay do her research?
死因は首吊りによる窒息死。地上のもつれからの自殺と断定された。
A suicide over a fight with a lover?
自殺と断定されたのか？
ああ、警察はそう発表した。あと出ている情報といえば、まあ死んだ柿田が優秀だったってことくらいか。出来高のアルバイトで驚くほど稼いでいたらしい。
So, you want to see the video of what really happened?
地上のもつれって、その相手は？いや、地上って言うなら交際していた相手がいたはずだろ。
ああ、なるほどな。
Ito looked through a bunch of files on his Pokecom.
いや、それに関しては何もないな。
目撃者は？
発見したのはホテルの従業員だけど、それ以外には何も。もちろんお前らのことも出てない。
What was going on? So they hadn't said anything about the other girl at the scene?
タク
Serica was staring at me confused. She was probably thinking the same thing. I could understand why there wasn't any information about us. The police had said there wouldn't be, and to be honest, we were just gawkers. There was no real point in telling anyone we were there. But that girl clearly seemed to be involved in the case. If they said he got into a fight with his girlfriend, then it didn't make sense not to report the girl who was there.
未成年による配慮
I don't know. I mean, if she was a minor, wouldn't they report that a minor had been found? They just wouldn't name him? I wasn't sure, but she had looked young. I mean, not that I know how Japanese law works, but she definitely wasn't older than 19. No, even then they say something. Whenever there was a problem with someone dating underage girls, they never reported the girl's name, but they always reported her existence. There you go! And 19 would be old enough by American standards anyway.
どうした？
説明する
It would be nice if they let me zoom in on this stuff, because I kind of want to see the summaries for the cases that we were not personally there to see. I pinned up the information that Ito had given me.
ラブホの事件の遺体の仮装は
Well, that one's pretty obvious, right?
What?
ラブホの現場で撮った画像だ
撮ったのか？
Ito almost jumped on me in shock. I nodded.
正確には録画した映像を切り取ってプリントアウトしたやつだ警察に消される前に尾上が個人のストレージに上げておいてくれた
マジかよ。やばいだろこれ。どこにも出てねえぞ。
Ito put his face up to the picture in excitement.
なんだ？座ったまま首を。ワイヤーかこれ。
He mumbled to himself as he stared at it, trying to memorize every last detail.
なんだよこれ。おい、一体何があったんだ？
You wanna see? As I listened to Ito speak excitedly, I looked toward Serica. I wasn't sure why I was looking at her. But she nodded as if she understood. I nodded back. The police had told us not to tell anyone, but I didn't care. I slowly started to explain what had happened to Ito. How we'd made it into the hotel undetected. How the room we'd seen from outside was where we found the body. How we'd gone inside and found the police officer lying on the floor. How the body in the photo was sitting on a spinning bed and slowly rotating. And how there'd been another girl there. And how someone had tried to enter the room. But I didn't tell him how the door had unlocked itself. Or even relocked itself. The police had told me I'd imagined it, and they'd made me realize I had no proof. Between my curiosity and my fear, I'd been a mess at the time anyway, and more than anything, without any kind of proof, I wasn't sure it had happened at all. When I finished, Ito's first questions were the same as mine had been.
現場にいた女に部屋に入ろうとしていた誰か。でも、その女はともかく誰かが部屋に入ろうとしていた形跡はなかったんだろう？
That was right. That was what the police had told me. But...
ノックの音が聞こえたんだそれは映像にも音声として残ってる
音だろ。誰かがドアの向こうにいてドアを叩いたという証明じゃない。
いや理屈で考えればそうだけどそれに確かにあれは誰かがドアを
Ito cut me off, clearly irritated.
理屈で考えればって一番らしくない言葉だぞ。理屈のみで考えなければいけないってのが理屈バカのお前だろ
う。Don't call me an idiot. I just prefer to cover all my bases.
はっきりしてるところから行こうぜ。だろ
Damn it. He could only say that because he hadn't heard it in person. That strange, eerie sound which hung in the depths of your ears and wouldn't let go. But that was true.
その通りといえばそうなんだよな
I hadn't seen for myself someone trying to enter the room. Maybe he took my silence as agreement.
で、現場にいた女か。あ、だから交際相手を気にしてたのか。
女っていうより女の子かな。
Huh?
女の子？
あの子きっとそんなに私と年変わらないよ。それに上ってこともないと思う。同じか 1,2 個下くらいじゃない？
そうかな。
I wasn't sure, but if Serica said so, she was probably right. Serica never had any evidence or proof for her statements, but she was often correct.
でもその女の子のことに触れている情報はなかったんだろう。
I looked back at Ito to check.
ああ、ゴシップ誌から新聞社の正式な発表、まとめウィキまで全部覗いたけど、そんな情報はなかった。
I see.
だとすればやっぱりこっちから追うしかないか。
I flipped through the remaining papers.
別の手がかりがあるのか？
映像を見返して気づいたことがあるんだ。ちゃんとした理屈だ。なんせちゃんとした証拠があるからな。
小さい男だな。
Say what you like. It was finally time to tell Ito what I'd found.
昨日作った綺麗に写ってる例のシールの画像は。
Oh.
これなんだかわかるか？
Ito looked at the picture for a moment, uncertain.
見覚えあるな。なんだっけな。
He used his Pokecom to run a search.
そう、力士シールだろ。
そう呼ばれてる。何の目的で貼られてるかわからない謎のシール。期限は諸説あるけど、ネットで騒がれ出したのは2007年頃。
At one point, they were famous enough that the TV stations were reporting on them, but after the 2009 Shibuya quake, everyone stopped talking about them. The city where the stickers were going up had been destroyed. People had bigger things to talk about. But starting sometime last year, they started to appear in Shibuya again.
目的はいろいろ噂されてる。単なるいたずら説はもちろんだけど、タギング説とか宗教による結界説だとか。
Well, tagging would be like spray paint graffiti kind of tagging, I assume. The act of painting the mark of an individual or symbol on a wall or public property. Marks painted in this way are called tags, sometimes considered a kind of street art. Since the vast majority of taggers don't get permission for their work, tagging is often a crime.
変わったとこだと、本当に力士の人が自分の顔を貼っている説ってのもある。でもこれは違うと僕は思っていて、そもそも力士シールなんて呼ばれてはいるけれど、それは単に太っている顔だからっていうだけの理由で誰かがそう言い出したことで、力士をモデルにしたなんてことは確たる証拠として。
ちょっとストップ。
Ito cut me off just as I was getting started. Come on, man, it was just about to get good.
いや、それが何だっつんだ？そのシールと事件と何か関係あんのか？
わからない。
は？
まだわからないんだ。でもな、こっちみんなの現場付近にあった力士シールは。
Oh, the don't look at me sticker.
この前お前に見せた画像を拡大したやつ。こっちみんなの現場を撮りに僕がいたカラオケボックスの外壁部分。
力士シールか？
うん、多少ぼやけてるけど間違いない。
おい、まさか。
ああ、ラブホの現場にもあったんだよ。やっぱり現場が見える位置に。
じゃああれか、音漏れたんもか？
いや、それもまだわからない。昨日調べたんだけど、少なくとも今まで撮った現場周りの画像には映ってなかった。でも 2つ続いた偶然にかけてみるのはありだって今回証明されただろ。
Ito fell silent as if he was thinking about something. Aw, I was hoping he'd be a little more surprised. But I guess that's the best I could expect. Or maybe there was too much new information coming in at once for him to keep up with.
ちなみにラブホテルの事件と同じ日付の6年前の事件は貼り付けだから。
Well, it's the guy who looks like he's been crucified.
で、その概要が今のところ日付はともかく事件の内容に関しては6年前とそこまでリンクしてないように思える。集団ダイブと同じ日付のこっちみんなは被害者は1人だし、それにまだ自殺と決まっているわけではないし、妊娠男と同じ日付のおともれたんは腹部に異物を埋め込んだっていう点は一緒だけど、そもそも被害者は女性だ。貼り付けとラブホの事件は目立った共通点は見つからない。だから他に事件を追う線がない以上、歴史シールからもう一度事件を探ってみるのもありだと思う。
But maybe I was overthinking this, but there was no telling what else would be related to the case. Just in case, I decided to put up the data on the other New Generation incidents from 6 years ago. October 10th. What is this? Vampire... Is it Vampire-er or Vampire-ER? But it looks like he's just in a bathroom. Brain dead. Ugh. Yummy hands. Yeah, could we not with that? The DQN puzzle. Yeah, that should do it. I looked at the board and nodded in satisfaction.
現状の情報の整理はこんなものか。
コーヒー飲む人。
Whew. What a relief. Change of music, change of attitude. For now, it's time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We didn't see Kurisu again, although we certainly envisioned bribing her with sweets, but what we did do was get a chart about what had been happening comparing kills 6 years ago to kills now. And, man, each of these is original and gruesome. I'm curious as to where this is going to go from here. It's macabre, but this is that kind of game, so I think it's gonna happen. Until next time, everyone.